everyone，大家好， this is Xingwei. So today I'm going to do a quick guide on my glorious, beautiful, dreamy, steamy 10 King chronos. Okay, so I know I went around spreading the word that chronos is like a budget Teresa. It is true, but do not let the fact that chronos performs a bit lesser than Teresa stop you from building him. Okay, he is still amazing. I mean, look at him. Okay, so let's move on to his skills to use. So the best 3 skills to use on him are magic combo, magic, and control. So as a supportive CC unit, these 3 are needed on him. Okay, so let's move on to the other 3 skills. So if you are trying to build a more supportive chronos, then I will recommend exterminate, armour break, and dispel. So these 3 are great because chronos can utilize all these 3 skills properly. So if you want to build him as a more DPS oriented wise, even though I would not recommend because he does not have much DPS potential, then you can opt for piercing or chase or berserk, just for more damage. And if you want to look for survivability, then agility, dominance, or iron wall all work properly. So you can just choose what you want. Although I would advise against building a DPS chronos because what's the point? There are better DPS outside. Okay, so next, let's move on to the best gear set. So personally, I would recommend the mixed 2-piece of offensive and defensive. If you want to build a offensive chronos, then you should use the 4-piece offensive set, but I will advise against that. So for the supportive chronos, you either build 2-piece mixed 2-piece or you build a 4-piece defensive set. Okay, so next, for the recommended magic devices, we have, apart from the limited ones, we have these 3 standard supportive ones, which are the hourglass, and these 2 things. Okay, you just need to know that these 3 are great magic devices for supportive units, so you can feel free to use any of them, although this is usually the most recommended and the best in slot because the more times he can cast his skill, the more times he can inflict CC. So if you're in early game, you can use either this or this for survivability. And now we move on to the most notable awakening node, which is awakening node 3. So let's look at his awakening. Yes. Okay, so awakening node 3 states that he gets a 10% more increase in control rate. So coupled with awakening node 2, his chance to inflict the time skip, which is the turn skip, is 34%. And together with the node 3, right, it will be a total of 44%. And then if you equip a red tiered control skill on chronos, then you will get another additional 14% control rate, which will bring the total control rate up to 58%, which is the highest in game. Okay, the only reason that Teresa outperforms chronos is because Teresa has a guaranteed chance to inflict bind on her awakening node 2. However, if we look at Teresa's total control rate, at node 2, she has 34% chance to inflict bind, and coupled with the red tiered skill of the control skill, the total will be a 48% chance. So because of Chronos awakening node 3, Chronos will have a 10% more chance to inflict the turn skip. So yeah, the reason that Teresa outperforms is just because of her guarantee. So let's move on to Chronos' best teammates. So Chronos, he is a supportive CC unit. He fits into any team. Okay, you can use him anywhere. He's great. So yeah. So let's move on and hear my thoughts behind Chronos. So it is true that he is the second best CC unit behind Teresa. And if you are already halfway through building him, don't need to be sad, okay? The performance of Chronos is only slightly behind Teresa. So if I were to look at their damage output, generally they are the same. Teresa would definitely do a bit more because of her chance to increase poison and inflict poison and what else, and plague. But Chronos also makes it up with his AoE normal attack. So if I were to compare them in terms of damage, they would be dealing similar damage. The only reason Teresa outperforms is, as I said, because of her guaranteed CC. But if you are a naturally lucky person, then Chronos might do the same because he has a 10% more chance to inflict the turn skip than Teresa. Okay, so really they are not too far apart. They are still great. So don't need to feel bad if you are already halfway through building your Chronos, just continue building him. He is still great. Furthermore, I want to point out that Chronos can properly utilize the exterminate, armour break and dispel trio better than Teresa due to the fact that his normal attack is AoE. And that is why he can also utilize armour break compared to Teresa. So if we look at Chronos as a whole, he is like White Star's best counter because of his dispel. He has a very high chance of dispelling the buffs that White Star applies on the teammates, which, you know, just kills the whole kit of White Star. So yeah, that's it for my King Chronos. Sorry, that was not it. I forgot to show everyone the builds in leaderboard. Okay, so let's do that now. Okay, they just merged server, which is why I moved down the ranking again, which is so sad. Okay, either way, let's start with the first guy who uses Chronos, so he's top 20. So this shows that Chronos is still viable, okay? He's still great. Okay, no need to worry that much. You can still use him. Okay, so this is an offensive Chronos. We can tell because he's using the offensive set and look at his skills. Okay, let's start here. So Berserk, magic combo, magic piercing, and exterminate and strike. So this is a more DPS oriented Chronos. And also he has a very high level awakening and the limited magic device. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. I know the next one is a supportive one. So high level awakening, and he's using the mixed set, which is 2-piece offensive, 2-piece defensive. Okay, and then now his skills are magic, exterminate, dispel, iron wall, magic combo, and control. So this is an example of a supportive Chronos that is in the team to inflict the turn skip. So yeah, as you can see, we have this top 20 dude and the top 22 dude who uses Chronos. So he's really not that far behind Teresa. If you use him, just use him. He is still great. He is good. And he also has an inbuilt to revive, which is, you know, great. More survivability, I guess. Okay, that's it. Thank you, everyone.